And we're recording.
We're live for recording. Howdy, howdy, everyone. This is Random Nerd.
And Meg Opinionated, welcome to Truth Talks and Fiction Walks.
Exactly.
Haven't said that in a hot minute.
Oh my goodness. What a week.
What a week. It has been quite crazy. We had the Epstein files dropped, redacted.
And
Shocker.
and late. And late.
And late. So, question: do you think Pam Bondi is gonna get hit with some hefty shit?
That is a very good question. I don't think so. I hope something will come out of it where she is penalized. I don't know what Congress is going to do, if anything, or how much enforced they're going to attempt. I want something to happen because that is a congressional mandate, but I mean, we're talking about, and this is my critique, this is my opinion, real quick, but this is where I think the Trump administration is, maybe not Trump personally, but has some influence to not release certain uh,
Right,
items.
right.
And Pam Bondi just happens to be the fall guy for this. Now, is she in on some higher level stuff? That is a good question, and we're here to find the truth about it.
Right. And just to channel out, I just recorded an episode yesterday of Opinionated on the e files and what I believe should be in or should have been dropped from the e files because it's a lot of stuff that I've had for years that I've gathered in my computer, did a whole episode. I'm going to be doing a part 2 next week. So after watching this, feel free to head over to that and watch that episode. It'll be called E-Files.
Very cool.
There's my push for the podcast.
No worries. What do you think about the shootings? And we were just talking about it before we started. Erica Kirk and her
Oh
um,
gosh.
event appearances.
I mean, it's really weird. Like I think you saw the video that I duetted on TikTok of I think his name's Still Corey or something like that.
Yep, yep.
Um, but he was talking about all these different shootings, and it's quite interesting that it's all Muslims against Jews, or the one that was mentioned that's Muslims against Christians. And it feels like it's this religious war, and we were kind of talking about this before we started recording. But to me, it feels like some sort of operation, some
It
sort.
does. It does. And oh my goodness. As the saying goes, if you don't learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it. And fortunately, in 2025, in the United States of all places, we are definitely seeing a repeat of history. Maybe not same players, different players, it looks like, but
Different
I mean,
players under a different name, same
players.
position.
Exactly.
Like that's actually because of all of the shootings, and it looks like it's not going to get better. Like it's going to be a rough holiday season of shootings and terrorist attacks, which
It's
is kind of scary. But once you really like look into what we're going to be talking about today, Operation Northwood, it really puts into the picture of like, is this real? Like obviously people are still getting alive or people are still getting killed. Just because somebody says it's a false flag or it's an operation doesn't mean that people aren't still dying, that these things aren't happening. because I don't want people to be like, oh, what are you, Alex Jones? What do you not believe that all of those children died at the school? And no, I do believe that. I do believe that that happened. And I do believe evaluations are happening. It is just, I'm wondering what the name is. I feel like it would be Operation Muslim Warfare.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, and considering we've done quite a bit of history already,
Right.
I was actually just looking this up on Wikipedia, and even the video you sent me on Northwoods, Meg, it clearly
Mhm.
shows that this is roughly part of how uh, sovereign nation governments do their dirty work.
Mhm.
And it's, I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing. Unfortunately, this is how insider threats happen. And the scary and disturbing part, it happens within our own military. It happens within our own um, government agencies.
Yeah. Like I I still don't understand, especially since we've been doing this series. How the fuck is the CIA still here? Like why hasn't that, like why wasn't that taken out with Doge? Why wasn't that
Exactly.
like
The
it
big
makes no sense. Like if you can give me a good operation or a good project that the CIA did, I'll shut my mouth. But I'll still be like, okay, you got one, but I got like 4,000 projects that they did that were fucking a mess.
and
Like,
and it's not just failed operations, it is deliberate, um what is it um when you actively interfere? Um
um,
oh, I'm blanking on these words for some reason. Anyway, when you actively interfere, sabotage.
so,
When you
yeah,
not sabotage, sabotage. When you
so,
actively interfere,
right,
and we covered this with Snowden episode.
yeah,
How this CIA supervisors deliberately did not push their findings up further,
right,
and their recruitments turn into chaotic disasters. So
mhm,
again, we ask the question, legitimate, not even conspiracy or anything. Why is the CIA still in operation?
right. Like, and I mean, I swear, forever we heard, oh, it's the FBI, the FBI, they're the corrupt ones, they're the ones, we got to defund them, or we got to put in our people. And then we get people like Dom Bongino, who's like, oh, hey, I'm here to go after the elites. Oh no, the elites hurt so bad. I'm going to go back to podcasting. Like, thanks, pal. Thanks for stepping up and stepping down so quick. Like,
Yeah,
what did you help with? Because I mean, how long has he been in the FBI?
too long.
Well, Dan Bongino, not that
Oh,
long. I feel like 2 or 3 years.
again, too long.
Too long for him, apparently. Um, and then we have Cash Patel, who friggin' goes in all, guns ablazing, ready to friggin' take on the FBI, and then comes out looking like a scared little pussy. I don't know if that's YouTube friendly. um, but he comes out looking scared and shit, like somebody pissed in his cereal and he's going to taste it for the rest of his life.
Yep, yep.
And it's just,
So this really,
go ahead.
yep. So this really begs the question: Is, I mean, we have leadership for a reason, but is there really any true leadership in these agencies? I mean, let's put it this way. The FBI itself has been in operation for decades, even before
Mhm.
the CIA. And
Yeah.
those districts have their own investigative agencies. The CIA was created as a central intelligence agency after World War II. The FBI was there beforehand, and I mean it through the history of our nation of the U.S.
Right.
So
They started in 1908.
1908, there you go.
Mhm.
So have we had any true leadership? I
It's
mean,
like,
you could say that intelligence information is a sensitive nature, yes, but at what point is enough? I mean,
right.
let's take a moment and dive into U.S. history for a moment. We'll get into Northwoods soon. I just want to share this with you for you
Yeah,
listeners.
definitely.
At what point is enough? Because if we go back to our foundational principles of the U.S. Constitution, it's built on sovereign popularity, individual liberty, and checks and balances.
Hmm.
The top three off of my head. So popular sovereignty, we the people. Um, then we have limited government is another one. Limited
Hmm.
government. I'm slowly building a series on the expansion of government after 9/11 policies.
Hmm.
Um, and then individual liberty. The idea, the philosophical idea is that we, the people, would have individual freedoms that are inherent by our Creator, that we, as regular human beings, that history has allowed us to exist, are inherent to our being as humanity. So this begs the question, at what point is enough in 2025 with um expanded restrictions against the people?
Right.
Our sovereign nation is really being tested, and
Hmm.
especially while Trump's administration is, doing what the president does. I'm not saying he's good or bad. I'm just saying he's doing a job.
Right.
Um, limited government. There are some tactics I don't agree with, but you know what? That's my personal opinion. Is he downsizing the federal government? I see firings and layoffs. And so there's that.
Right. Which I
So
am, because it is technically factually true. This is something that Q said, is that there'll be a lot of people resigning, a lot of people in government and in like big pharma and in like really big like companies. And we have been seeing that over the past like 2 years. We've been seeing a lot of people stepping down, a lot of people walking away, a lot of people selling off what they, their stocks and stuff. I mean, we were talking about Bitcoin a couple weeks ago. Like, so not that Q is factual because we can't prove that yet, but that is something that they have talked about.
yeah. So uh, as we get into Northwoods here, the biggest so this actually let's get into it real quick. So Northwoods is essentially so I'm reading off of Wikipedia. Uh, the main Operation Northwoods proposal was presented in a document titled Justification for U.S. Military Intervention in Cuba, Top Secret. written by Department of Defense and Joint Chiefs of Staff. I want to make sure I get this right.
Mhm.
Le- Lyman Lemonster. We're talking about the chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff
Mhm.
made this proposal, and it was on the uh, aftermath of the failed Bay of Pigs against Cuba.
Mhm.
And to give you guys some historical reference, all of this was during the height of the Cold War,
Yep.
the invisible arms race between the Soviet Union and the United States. Essentially, these military officials and CIA even felt that the US sovereignty was being threatened by the quote unquote invisible communism, propaganda of communism.
Right.
Whether that was true, that's what we're diving into. But right now we are sharing Operation Northwoods. And actually, Meg, do you have that Instagram video? That actually summarizes everything. Are
I
you
can
able to
bring
bring that up?
it. Absolutely, I'll bring them. I thought about it. I thought about playing it, and then I was like, maybe
Because that
not.
that summarizes it perfectly.
It really does. It really does. And if you don't follow, I'll get his name and everything. Let me see. I have to go to his page. Load computer load. But yeah, no, this to me is extremely like frightening that one, I mean, like we know that the CIA has been doing some, fuck shit for a long time. But with this one, it literally is like, so hey, we're gonna plan all of these killings of Americans, and it's totally fine. It's totally fine. Like, who cares?
Mhm.
Who cares?
Oh, and, considering we just did the episode, last week or a couple episodes ago, this ties into MK Ultra. That
Yes,
just happened to be around the same time period.
right? It's all about like control of what we think, how we see things, the media and how it portrays things to us. And of course, the innocent being killed. Like
Exactly.
it's crazy. I'm going to share this video. I got to mute so we don't get that awkward echo.
Go ahead.
Why is there no
Why is there
sound?
no sound?
Sound.
All right, let's try this again. Let's try this again because it could be my computer. It could be the CIA. Who knows? Let's see. Window. Let's do it that way.
Citizens,
Operation Northwoods.
Operation Northwoods was a classified CIA proposal that would stage fake terrorist attacks across the United States. The Joint Chiefs of Staff off on every horrific detail. They planned to shoot down passenger planes filled with innocent Americans, then blame Cuba for the massacre. Miami would be bombed. Washington, D.C. would face coordinated terrorist strikes. Cuban refugees fleeing to America would be deliberately drowned at sea, their deaths used as propaganda. Remote-controlled aircraft would crash into buildings while fake passenger lists were released to the press. The military
Remote-controlled aircrafts with fake passenger lists. I wonder if that would happen afterwards.
calculated exactly how many civilians needed to die to justify invading Cuba.
Yo, that is wild. They took the time to calculate how many people needed to actually die to get the sympathy to go to war with another country to kill more people.
Each attack was designed for maximum emotional impact on the American public. President Kennedy read the proposal and refused to sign it. One signature stood between approval and mass murder of American citizens by their own government. The document stayed buried for 4 years until declassification revealed how close we came to states.
Hate to break it to you, but that wasn't the first that there was state-sponsored terrorism. Certainly wasn't the last time that it was proposed. You have to realize that these elements live within all governments. Evil elements. People who want to see destruction and harm, who want to see death. Do you think it's a coincidence what's happening right now with Venezuela and the drug boats? They need forever wars. It's how they keep the populations in debt. It's how they keep them psychologically neutered, keep them fighting amongst themselves so that they can go about sending our money to foreign countries, making us more impoverished.
Did you know that in 1962, America's top general...
Oh yeah, I'm muted.
It's okay. But
Did you notice that comment? One of the it literally has 12K likes on it, and it's just of the Twin Towers.
Right. And here's the actual craziest part. 1962, and they were already had a proposal of remote controlled drones or aircraft. Think of
Right.
that.
That just shows that they've literally been lying to us about the capability of what they've had, especially when it comes to that sort of technology.
1962.
We had drones.
Before rocketry, before any of that.
Right.
Remote controlled drones.
Like, and if you think about it, a lot of people are probably like, oh, that's fiction. But like, no, in the 1960s, we had, well, 1962 to be exact, we had this technology. There's friggin', let's see, because I want to kind of get into the other projects, because there's also Operation Mongoose, which is related to this, that had 33 plans that were considered under this operation that, you know, were basically red flag events. And as I said before, that doesn't mean that nobody died. That means that they knew that they were going to do this. But also, as it said in the video, they said that they would fake names on plane lists. So they could be like, oh, hey, let's kill hundreds of people, but then fudge the numbers to like 300 people.
Exactly.
And that's insane.
Yeah, exactly. So again, I want to keep asking this question because this really bothers me. Like all of this research, and I'm not sure how you feel, listeners, but I'm beyond scared. I'm beyond pissed. I mean, we're talking about violence against humanity. This isn't even crimes against this is violence against humanity from
Right.
the United States government.
Right? Like, friggin'
At what point is enough?
exactly. Because I mean, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of this. And when are we gonna stand up? And honestly, which I'm sure a lot of people are gonna be thinking, like, what do you want us to do, Meg? What do you want us to do? I want you to call your chairman. I want you to call your senators. I want you to blow up their phones and be like, hey, why the fuck is the CIA doing? Start asking questions. Fill up their inboxes. Fill up their voicemails. Make it where they have to address why the CIA is still in operation.
I would go a step further, and when I say this, I mean civilly. People go up to them in person civilly and ask them questions. Film them, film them, ask them questions, be civil. Be civil. Do not harass them. Do not,
Right.
touch them. We are in a nation of laws. But with
Right.
that said, civilly, I mean, worst case, we have the ability, we have the authority, we the people have the authority to civilly remove these individuals who fail the representation of the people.
Right.
Civilly get
Go ahead.
force them to to answer the questions, because this the whole point of the United States Congress is to oversight, is to
Hmm.
ensure lawful operations, and the
Right.
CIA has been doing illegal and downright unethical. I mean, this proposal itself is violence against humanity.
Right. And I mean, like because we've talked a lot of the early projects like MK Ultra that was like, and a lot of people are going to be like, well, this happened, 50, 60, 70 years ago. Like, why are we worried about it now? Because like what the CIA does and what they're really known for is they start a project. If it fails or it gets turned under or somebody stops them, they do another operation, same project, different name with, new characters. And so we can't prove today that any of these operations actually have ended.
Correct. And in addition to that, what makes you think that they aren't still in operation, just under different circumstances, such as with Snowden? He exposed Operation or Patriot Act and the surveillance software Prism. Um, Another one, I've said this before, but the Smith Modernization Act of 2012. Just those two hand in hand. And we have modern day psyops, we have modern day MK Ultra. You don't know it. I mean, let's take the Sphere in Las Vegas, for example. If anyone has been in video production, you know how images can be overlapped to how do I say this without getting too deep?
Go too
Images,
deep.
right? Images can be overlapped and sped up in such a sequence that subtle and even subliminal messages can be transferred to the audience. And the Sphere in Las Vegas is a beautifully perfected example.
Mm-hmm.
It is a very niche side of human psychology, but that's
Mm-hmm.
also part of what Truth Talks is about. It's more than just history. You have to understand that history is all about society, behavioral society or society behavior, and you kind of. I'm not saying you have to do investigative work into human psychology, but just take a moment. The saying, walk in somebody else's shoes. Well, it's the same concept except on a bigger scale.
Mm-hmm.
And we are talking about psychology a little bit as well, because all of this ties into what the CIA has done and continues to do.
Right.
Is there is there some um is there some good out of it? I mean, you hear of these foiled terrorist plots, these foiled plots against humanity. which is good. But who's to say that there's not two or three bad things happening in the background behind the scenes? And I mean,
And I mean,
Operation Northwoods is one of them.
right, and it's what was it, 40 years for that to be declassified?
Yep, in the 1990s.
Yeah, and it's like, I think it's funny that it came out in the 1990s, and then we had 9/11.
Right.
What a communicating.
Right.
It's just like it blows my mind how so many people can think that all of this stuff is just happening by coincidence. And it's like we really look into our history, we really look into these projects, and it's like in 50, 60 years we might find out that that we've been played this whole time, like the Patriot games. Sorry, that just came to mind.
No,
The Hunger Games of America.
right. So, and here's how close. Here's how close, as you heard in the video, it came down to one signature.
It did. Like,
It
thank
came
God
down
for
to one
JFK.
signature. Now, this exemplifies the how beautiful the U.S. system was built, and it exemplifies what the founding fathers wanted and demanded for checks and balances. The
Right.
president has the ultimate authority. Now, granted, Joint Chiefs guy crossed that line with that proposal, but he did not cross the line by deliberately mutiny, in other words, violating the presidential order. But President JFK did not sign. It came down to one signature, people.
Mhm. And
Everybody
that
else
that's
fell in
scary.
line. It came down to one signature.
Yeah, that's terrifying. And like, there's something that I want to bring up that I sent you the other day. It was a bill. I
Oh,
also
yeah.
I don't know how much digging through that bill you did. It's like 3,000 papers or
I
pages.
I skimmed over it. I think I AI summary did, so
Oh, did you? Did you? Okay.
yeah.
Because I haven't found it. I haven't found it. I will share this in the Telegram group if anybody wants to go through and dig through it. Because I've seen a couple of different creators say that hidden in here, they take away all authority to the president to not go through with these wars in Venezuela and stuff like that, which reminds me of this project. So I'm so glad I remembered because I really wanted to talk about this. Because if that had been the case back in the day, how many projects would have not been stopped by the president? Like, and
Exactly.
if we're in this with the war with Venezuela, with what seems to be the religious wars of Muslims, Jews, and Christians, if Trump can't say no to these wars and stuff like that, then what are we looking at? We're looking at all of these projects just being able to not have to need his signature. So I haven't found it in the bill, but I have seen people say that it's in there. I've tried several times to kind of go through this, and I'm literally like, this is numbing my brain. Like, I can't read it anymore.
Yes. And actually this leads into so I'm looking to build an encyclopedia of these declassified material. It's a lot
Yeah.
of work. So this ties into the nice little banner at the bottom. If you would like to support this project, if you would like to support this podcast, we kindly ask for any donations and to help Meg get new
And
microphone.
yes, you can also donate at if my computer wants to work. Let's see. Yay, we're working. You can also donate on my Beacons app if you don't want to do Cash App or Venmo, which I understand. Nobody wants to put their like real name on anything, but you can anonymously donate through there. Let's see, where is it? I might have an echo. We're just gonna have to deal with.
We have Truth Talks here. We have Opinionated. We have mic drops with all of our research. We've just got a lot we have to sort through.
Right.
Our original Megan
Mm.
Random show,
Yeah.
my own podcast on societal issues. We're looking at some on Odyssey, maybe.
Yeah, there's some on there. I gotta because the past few times that I've tried to upload, it like has not worked. So I think I might actually just get rid of Odyssey, to be completely honest with you. But
That's
there's a lot of old episodes from both both channels are on there. And then of course the old Rumble, but we are hopefully everybody, please, if you leave any comment, leave a comment about our IT guy and how he needs to step it up. Step it up. And also he's been adding to let me get the YouTube page. I thought I had it up here. So let me grab that.
sure.
He's been doing his own work while not uploading our episodes. I'm just kidding. But he has started his own little thing, which I'm really liking it. I think it's cute. So
It's nice and it helps everyone, not just us, but for anybody having tech issues.
right,
He's been sharing some tech hacks that are very one. It's creative for him to do, so we appreciate that. But it's also in-depth tech knowledge that you may or may not know offhand.
right.
I'm a techie at heart, but there are some items that I do need assistance with as well. So it's been very helpful.
And yes, here's the YouTube page. There's going to be these friggin' what do they call? What does he call them? Tech tips by In Sessions. So he's going to be starting those, which I think are great. He's a total nerd when it comes to computer stuff. Also, this is where Truth Talks mainly is. And then, of course, if you haven't been to our Rumble, Rumble has the more X-rated things.
And opinionated as
And
well.
opinionated, yes.
It's not that we can't combine everything, but there are some things that we can do on Rumble that we cannot do on YouTube. So Truth Talks we're able to share on YouTube just because the algorithm allows us to. Unfortunately, Rumble's algorithm is a bit shaky as well, but we're able to do a little bit more.
Right. We're getting there.
We're getting there. We're getting there. But again, the soul comes back to at what point is enough? I mean,
Right.
Let me ask you, listeners, for those listening in the United States, you are a U.S. citizen, or at least a U.S. citizen by natural or naturalized or through immigration. Your inherent rights are granted to you by your creator, and the Bill of Rights. Yeah, I'm gonna go a little constitutional here, but it ties into what we're discussing. The Bill of Rights restricts the government.
Right.
Technically restricts Congress altogether. But let's just say that all of these modernized policies, laws, officially, have watered down, if not restricted, your own rights without you really knowing it.
Right.
How scary is that? That you are no longer a citizen, you are a peasant. Now, I'm not saying that you are, but we are stretched on pennies while Congress members on $174,000 salary
Right.
are worth millions. And whether you like him or not, the older millennial shared on AOC, and for 174,000, the first 3 years of her first term, if I'm not mistaken, were fairly decent.
Mm-hmm.
From like 58,000 to 100, 200,000, and then boom in 2024, what, 10,
Well,
$20 million net worth.
did you know? Because this kind of blew my mind. I actually found this out in a live the other day. Because we were talking about all the different politicians, and I was looking up like what was their net worth then blah blah blah. And did you know that Trump? Because remember the first few years Trump was losing money.
Yes.
He went down to, I think it was 1.3 million. I'm pretty sure that's what it went
Billion,
down
but
to.
yes.
No, million, like a while ago. And like
Oh,
after
okay.
the first or second term, he was at 1.3 million. And then he slowly but surely got up after he left office. But over the past 2 years, he's gained $6 billion.
Yes.
That's a
And
lot.
I've actually been, so a little bit about me. I do follow and I do dabble the stock market, so I do follow stock market news. And Truth Talks, which was a private social platform rival to Twitter at the time.
Yeah. Truth
That
social. You said truth talks. Got it.
right. Yeah,
Not
Twitter.
cool.
Oh my goodness, everything jumbles together. Anyway, Truth, Truth Social, there we go, was a private um, uh, blog platform that rivaled Twitter at the time.
Yep.
And that platform went public, and so he was able to gain
Yeah,
some net.
and then he lost money on it. Because that's what I thought at first. I was like, oh, well, Truth Social came out. So he gained a crap ton of money on that, right? And then when I really looked into the numbers, he actually lost money on that. And so the majority of the money that he has received has been like, money that he gets from his already established businesses. And then it's crypto, because him and his family really got into crypto lately. And then there's just, I'm pretty positive that it's about $2 billion that just don't make sense. The math ain't mathin'. So like,
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not like, that dabbled into every single, like, this is gonna be terrible. I can't say that. Never mind. I'm not like counting every penny, but no, like I found it really shocking that he went from millionaire to billionaire in such a quick, and like he's always been rich, right? He's always been rich. He's always been one of the, top people. But like that's a big jump in a short period of time, with having some money able to be tracked and then not all of it. And as we've said several times on this show, follow the money. And that is something that I'm like kind of deep diving, because like there's also the plane he was gifted by oh man, I can't remember. Somebody gave him I think it was Qatar that gave him the plane.
Yep.
Yeah.
And let's take this a bit deeper. When we say follow the money, we're giving you the answers of, and I'm not being arrogant when I say this. We're giving you the answers of these operations. This is historical, declassified information. So let's take it a back step. For Operation Mongoose, where would the Joint Chiefs of Staff get the funding for that? Who, and here's the real questions to ask. And actually, here's your homework for this episode. Who else signed and or approved the proposal? And where would any funding come from? If you follow civics, United States Congress holds the purse.
Mm.
So who of United States Congress members reviewed and personally approved the proposal of Operation Northwoods?
Dang. I mean, I know the answers, so I'm not gonna like.
No, I know.
Shut up. Homework, guys.
Right, and then here's my ongoing question for myself, because I know it's gonna take a lot of time. My time is actually quite busy at the moment, so I'm having to sort through priorities. But who who voted for the Smith Modernization Act of 2012? Because that opened Pandora's box for domestic propaganda, and that was under Obama administration.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look more into that.
Yes, because these legislations aren't just voted on. They are voted on by specific Congress members. And obviously, it got enough to pass the House and the Senate. So who were those members that voted for the Modernization Act?
I don't know. Homework for me.
Homework for me. And it's an ongoing process because of how, I mean, we're talking about a 535 congressional body, and the bill passed. So it was drafted. I mean, it was proposed, it was drafted, it was revised, and then it was voted on, and then revised again for any back and forth. So that is my own homework. That it's an ongoing process. But yeah, for Operation Northwood, for listeners, that is your homework.
Absolutely.
Who signed off on it, and where would the funding come from?
Right. And also, just for funsies, feel free to look into the other related operations like Operation Mongoose and Operation 40. They're all related, and they're all around the same time period. And they were all, I believe, all three of them were declassified in the 90s.
Yes.
I'm pretty positive.
Actually, let's see. I know I was actually going to I was actually going to add in this for you to share, Meg. That here it is. So I'm gonna put this in the chat real quick.
Absolutely.
I want to give you guys a sneak peek into our research.
Ooh. Sorry, I got excited.
Yeah. It's in the StreamYard chat.
Oh, fuck yeah. All right,
So This comes from the Black Vault, which is one of our sources. And this individual, he built this this declassified archive, and his work is still in progress. And this is one of our resources. This is one of our resources that I would like to shift, or at least do my part to shift into an encyclopedia.
Right. And like I've been kind of digging through here, the Black Vault. And there's been so much stuff in here that just kind of like blows my damn mind. Like,
and this is all declassified information. So by all means, it is factually true.
right.
You cannot say otherwise. You cannot, deny anything. These are declassified documents.
So I have if you follow on the Telegram group, I have shared the Black Vault link in there. And I believe it's also on the mic drop, right?
I believe so. If anything, I can update that.
Okay. But I'll definitely share this again, the Black Vault, so people can, just go looking through it and find what you can find. You might find stuff and be able to bring it to our attention that we haven't even found yet. And trust me, it's funny because like we've been doing this series for months now on the CIA operations, but I feel like each week we're like, oh yeah, we're doing this operation. Like we find out something new. Like each week, like obviously we knew about like some of the older or some of the more crazier ones like MK Ultra, friggin' some of this stuff with friggin' Operation Fishbowl, but like every single time me and you get on this panel and we talk and do an operation, I'm pretty sure that both of us leave with a new piece of information.
We do, and that's something that I'm pretty sure you enjoy. I certainly enjoy it for my knowledge, and this is the thrill. This is the joy we get for the research. It's not being right or wrong. It is more on a philosophical level, but it is for our history knowledge of all.
I think I'm really, really nosy.
Yeah, we're both nosy. We're just curious.
Right.
We're
And
just passionately curious. If anyone knows where that quote comes from,
I don't. What is it from?
it is Albert Einstein.
Oh,
It is, I have no special talent. I'm only passionately curious.
I love that. Oh my gosh. That should be that should be a quote on something. Maybe on the friggin' Rumble. I'll like put some
Yeah,
of our
it
quotes.
would be. I think it would be a nice. Those add in at the bottom catchphrases.
Yeah,
I think that's what we need to put in for the Rumble YouTube description.
I think
I have
so.
no special, yeah, I have no special talent. I am only passionately curious.
I love that. I love that so much. That's so great. I
Yes,
love doing this with you, nerd. I really do.
I enjoyed it too. And so here's for any listeners that are listening to us this long, thank you. We're just two individuals. We want to share our voice with you, and we haven't really had anyone outside of ourselves to discuss these topics. And I've certainly enjoyed these podcast episodes, and to bounce ideas, to really discuss these operations.
Right.
It's one thing to dig the information for yourself, but it's another to share that information. And not just with anyone that, because you and I disagree on various other things too.
Right.
But it's not even disagreeing, it's just finding common ground.
Right.
And that's really what this Truth Talks is about. It's not about, having heated debates. It's about what is the truth.
Right. Truth talks and fiction walks.
Exactly. And like from one of our older shows, the truth is out there.
The truth is out there, right? I love that. Like, because it is. And I feel like a lot of people do a lot of digging. Like, obviously there's tons of people out there like us that dig into this kind of information, but there's so many people that just, they don't know where to start. They don't know how to get this information, where to look. And this was something that I noticed, especially with the whole new Epstein drop, which friggin' sucked. But with when it officially was being dropped and everybody's like waiting, trying to find the information, all the search engines were filled with, all this article from, it's going to drop today, to this article, like, in a couple of hours. And it's like, but nobody can actually get to the actual information.
Exactly.
Like, and that is a problem. And a lot of people don't know how to dig through that and keep going and looking into it. And that's where me and Nerd, we are here to help. We might give you some homework, but we also will give you the links where you can do your homework.
And at the end of the day, this is a history class. We're not just going to send you homework without something,
Right.
And that's what history class should be about. We teach you some stuff. We want to show you where we get the information. At the same time, I mean, it is a history class, so we do want you to do your own homework as well.
Right. And also there's one thing when you watch an episode, and this is where I think I'm going to end it for the night. There's watching an episode, kind of getting that information, and then there's another when you read that information. So if you listen to us and you go and do your own research, that information is going to stick more in your brain than if you were to just listen to us. So that's why we're big on do your own research. Don't trust it, but trust it.
Trust me, don't trust me. This is Random Nerd. Have a wonderful day.
And Meg Opinionated. We'll see you next week.